I'm recording all the audio for this video on this microphone which I made for my QMX transceiver. That's the QMX from QRP Labs, and it looks like this. When I first heard that the QMX could operate on SSB as well as CW and all the other modes, I was amazed and I was really interested to try it. And as it happened, I have a stock of electric capsules here, so I decided to make one and design a housing using 3D printing. I also have a Prusa Core 1 printer, which is absolutely fantastic. So what I'm doing now is testing it, listening to the audio away from the radio and just checking the whole thing so I can hear what it sounds like for myself. And to do this, I've built a little tester, and this is a little power supply with a voltage regulator, and it's giving the microphone the same voltage or bias as it would get from the QMX transceiver, which is 3.3 volts through a 2.2k resistor. And from what I've heard so far, just feeding that sound into my Zoom recorder, which is what I generally use for a lot of my videos, I'm really pleased with the audio quality. So what about the design? Well, I decided to try and make it as comfortable as possible. So I measured my hand and I made it fit into the palm of my hand, and I rounded all the edges on the sides and on the back and the front, and I put a large button in it so it's easy to push, and lined that up with my thumb. And so far it's worked really well. I find it's really comfortable and it's doing a good job. And as a matter of interest, I also made an opposite-handed version, because I know some left-handed people, and I've worked in the past with people who use left-handed and right-handed drum kits and many other things, and I just wondered if some people, because they're left-handed or just because they tend to hold the microphone in the other hand, would prefer it reversed. And it actually makes sense to me when I hold it in this hand, although you can just hold it and use your finger. So I'd be really interested to know if anybody has any thoughts on that. Do you think it's a good idea to make two versions, one for each handedness, for a microphone like this? So please leave me a note in the comments if you have any thoughts on that. So as for the sensitivity of the microphone, I'm generally holding it around here. I can hold it further away. It doesn't seem to really distort until I get it a lot closer, and I can even put it down on the desk, I think, and just carry on talking. I hope that still sounds good. This is not a great audio environment. These are very hard walls and there's a bit of a hum from my lighting, but I think it sounds pretty good. I've also tried it outside and I couldn't really hear any wind noise, although on a much windier day maybe I would. It's of course always possible to make a windshield for something like this. Also in testing, I've actually used the microphone with the radio, the QMX transceiver. It was very easy to set up, and I just plugged it in and turned the microphone test until the pattern was correct on the screen, and it was just showing the wave just below peaking. And I also added a little bit of compression, and it seems to be absolutely fine. And I've had several short contacts, and now I've had a few quite long chats with people, including one from just outside London to northern Denmark. The opposite party said he thought the audio sounded fine, and we had a really quite a good long chat. I've had a chat from my home QTH in Somerset to Kent and also to Liverpool, and had good reports of the audio, so I'm very happy with it so far. And one of the points of this video is I've been told by a couple of people they're quite interested in this, would like to have one, and I wonder if other people feel the same. Do you think this is a good thing to make available? Because I've started making them. And do you have any other thoughts or comments about the design or suggestions? So if so, please leave them down in the comments. So that's my video today using the audio from my homemade electric microphone with a push to talk switch that in my tester lights up the little light to make sure I've wired it correctly. And if you like it, please let me know, and I'll be back soon with more videos about electronics, amateur radio and so on.